good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever the case may be. Peace and blessings from Allan at mindvisionmedia.net. I hope this short video finds you all well. This particular video is going to be short, and it is a quick review of the responsive theme version 1.9.7.0, which came out, I believe, on July 25th, 2014. And just want to clear up some things. I've been getting some emails and some comments in regards to a few issues and difficulties some people are having, and hopefully this will help to clarify some things for you guys. Once again, we're dealing with the responsive theme by Cyberchimps, formerly of Theme ID, and version 1.9.7.0 is their latest version. And what I want to cover, and I'm going to provide links in the description for this particular video for pretty much everything I touch on in this short video. A lot of folks are still asking why their back end for the responsive theme, which is the dashboard area, looks different than the one that I'm using in my videos or my video tutorials rather. And part of the reason is there are several well, actually quite a few updates, as I will show you. I'm going to jump back and forth here. I want to show you just the changelog, which is the list of updates. And as you can see, here is version 1.9.7.0. It came out on July 25th of this year, and it describes what they did, what they changed. Here's the previous update that came out on 7/18/2014, version 1.9.6.9. Here's version 1.9.6.8. And as you can kind of see, you're probably already noticing, every week or so there's an update. This particular theme, the responsive theme from Cyberchimps, has updated its theme more than all of the other themes that I use and work on combined, especially since the transition from Theme ID to Cyberchimps. And this particular list is pretty extensive. I mean, it goes all the way back, and it shows every single update and every single change that they've made to the theme. And a lot of the changes are for the better, granted, but they're so frequent and erratic that it's just it has caused a lot of confusion and a lot of frustration for some users. It has broken a lot of sites and blogs with recent updates and what have you. And I will provide a link to this page here on GitHub. One thing I wish they would change with this particular theme, I wish the developers would add a link to what each update is about. Usually when you get a notification in your dashboard area that a theme has been updated, they will provide a theme detail or an update detail list or link, and you don't get that with the responsive theme. What you get each and every single time, at least for the past year or year plus that I've been using this theme and helping people with this theme, is they just bring you to the basic responsive page that tells you how great the theme is and how many page templates it has and widget areas and template layouts and blah blah blah. It never tells you what the details are for a particular update. So I wish they would rectify that. Most plugins and most themes, when they provide an update, and you click on the link to find out what the update details are, they give you the update details. But the responsive theme doesn't. They just bring you to the basic responsive theme general description page, and you have to go hunt around. Basically, you have to do some bloodhound work to actually find the changelog. So I will provide a link to the changelog. So, and jumping back to the changelog, we can see that in version 1.9.7.0 They improved the responsive grid. They removed default logo as per WordPress.org guidelines, and they updated the screenshot. Pretty much nothing that's going to impact your work or your theme. However, in version 1.9.6.8, they did make a change that has affected a lot of people, and that's one of the areas I'm going to touch on, where they separated the featured area from the front page. And what used to be called Home.PHP for the earlier versions, like version 1.8 on and previous, it was called Home.PHP, and that refers to your home page, this featured content area and main content area with the home widgets and all that stuff and the call to action button. That originally was called Home.PHP. Then around version 1.9.3, 2 or 4, they changed the Home.PHP file in the editor to the front-page.php file. That caused a little bit of confusion, and when I say in the editor, I'm discussing under Appearance Editor. That's how you go to your theme editing section where you can edit all the files related to that particular theme. You have all your templates here, all your PHP files, and so basically it went from Home.PHP to Front-Page.PHP, and now in the latest version, since 1.9.6.8, it is now called the Featured-Area.PHP. So if you're looking at my tutorials on my YouTube channel on how to modify the theme and make customizations, and you're looking at my screen and you're going, I don't have that. My Front-Page.PHP file doesn't have all that stuff in there, or my Home.PHP file doesn't have that. Well, it's been moved for the third time to the Featured-Area.PHP file. And if we take a look in that file, Featured-Area.PHP, here is your home headline, here is your home subheadline, here is your home content area, and here is your call to action button. So hopefully that will clear up a little bit of confusion, because you know this theme is very popular. It's been downloaded over 1 million times. Kudos to Cyberchimps, kudos to Ulrich and Theme ID. You have a great theme, but you just need to tighten up how you go about doing your updates, I think, and not make such drastic changes where it impacts people's websites and blogs to the point where they have to redo everything or it breaks their themes. So just a little bit better communication and forethought on the updates is the only complaint I would ever wage against them. However, it's been downloaded over 1 million times, and it's very popular. Very nice theme, very robust theme, has a lot of great features. I wish they would keep the model for this theme and apply it to other themes. But there is a lot of confusion. Now, the modifications and customizations that I demonstrate and display on my YouTube channel for the responsive theme all work. You just have to know where to apply those modifications and those customizations. So finding the right file in order to work on it is key. Another thing I wanted to touch on briefly is that you may be looking for your style sheet and you can't find it. You may have a particular version and you come over here to your style sheet and you click on your style sheet and you go over here and you go, yeah, okay, he's working on the Style.CSS file, and you come to yours and that's it. That's all that's there. I don't have all that stuff he has in his child in his style CSS file? Well, that's because in earlier versions, I believe it was 1.9.5.0, which we can take at a look at the changelog, and if we scroll down, and these are all updates to this theme. So if we scroll down to version 1.9.5.0, right here, it says, let's see, restructured CSS files, moved styles to core CSS. That's the key update they did that broke a lot of themes, even if you were using a child theme at the time, because your child theme could not reference the style CSS file because they moved it. So we had a lot of issues with that. I haven't had too many emails or comments with questions regarding that lately. So that's beginning to rectify itself, and people are more aware now, or they've updated to later versions and they've discovered where the location is, or they've read the description in some of my videos, or they've watched some of my tutorials and now they know where the style sheet is. But if you are having issues, that is another key point. You have to know where your style sheet is in order to make modifications to it or to reference it in your child theme. Alright, so just wanted to touch on that. And the new location is on your web server. It's not accessible through your WordPress dashboard any longer. And until you start making modifications to your website, the style sheet inside your editor won't have any code inside of it. Now since we're talking about modifications, there are a couple of ways you can modify your theme. You can activate Jetpack, which is a plugin, a default plugin that comes with WordPress, or you can download it, do a search under plugins and download and activate Jetpack, and they have a couple of tools in there that will allow you to add custom CSS if you're familiar with CSS, or editing your theme with Firebug or any of the other developer tools. Also, on the dashboard, you can always go to your theme options, and right here you have what's called CSS Styles. You can go in here and you can paste CSS code inside of here, and it will act just like a child theme. And whatever styles or style changes you put in this section under CSS Styles will override the parent theme CSS. Or if you're still working on your parent theme, it will override that CSS style sheet that's in your editor and make these modifications take effect. Don't forget to save and refresh your browser once you do that. So there are a couple of different ways you can edit the style sheet. And for people who aren't familiar with editing code or aren't comfortable with copying and pasting code, you can. It's not mandatory, it's not highly recommended, but you can go on your web server, your host, and find the original style sheet for the parent theme, and it's under WP Content, Themes, Responsive, Core, CSS, and inside the CSS folder will be your style sheet. You can go in there, browse through the style sheet, which is pretty long, copy the particular section of code you need, and paste that into a child theme style sheet. Or, like I said, if you're not comfortable copying and pasting the CSS style sheet code, you can literally copy pretty much all of the code and just go from there. Everything except the header top portion of that CSS file. You do not need to copy the header for that style CSS into your child theme. It's definitely not necessary, but you can do that. I've done it. I have many folks I've worked with who have done it, and it's basically redundant. You're going to have two style sheets, so that's why it's redundant. But that way you can access the full style sheet in your editor. Okay, you'll be able to see all of the code for the theme, but again, you don't need to copy like everything at the top, the header information for that style sheet, only the code sections. Alright, so that's just a little tip on that. I tend to edit my child theme CSS using the code snippets in the under theme options, Css Styles, or I'll use the tool provided in Jetpack and what have you. So you have, you know, many options on how to modify the theme. Not too much, like I said in the beginning, not too many changes on version 1.9.7.0. Everything's pretty much still the same. And as I stated, all the modifications and customizations that I demonstrate in my video tutorials on YouTube do work. I still use them on a regular basis for myself, clients, students, and those who need my assistance or who hire me to work on their website or design their website in full. It's just a matter of knowing where to make those modifications, and this short video is hopefully explaining where those areas are and where the files are located. So again, if you're using an older version of the responsive theme, version 1.8 and prior, your file is going to be called Home.PHP. If you're using version 1.9.3.4, versions in prior to or shortly after that, your file is going to be called Front-Page.PHP. And if you're using version 1.9.6.8 or later, including the latest version 1.9.7.0, it is going to be called Featured-Area.PHP, and that's where you'll find all the information and code for this home page right here, this format. You can override this style of home page by going to your dashboard and going to theme options. Just going to jump over there right quick off camera and go to home page, and this checkbox right here, enable custom front page. That's how you display that home page with the home widgets. If you uncheck that, then what is set in your reading settings, which is on your dashboard under settings, you have general, writing, and reading. Your reading settings determine what is displayed on your front page. So basically it has your latest post here, but as you can see, the latest posts are not displayed, and that's because that previous button I just showed you under theme options is checkboxed. But you could uncheck that box, come over here, select a particular static page, and choose a page that you would prefer to be displayed as your home page. Alright, that's just a little quickie on that. And let's see what else. I'm going to provide some links to the changelog, and also some links to some good information and instructions on the whole child theme thing. There have been some changes to how child themes are set up. The @import command is no longer necessary in your child theme, although it may be mentioned in some of my previous tutorials. Later versions, they've modified the method used, and instead of the @import URL for the parent theme Style.CSS file, you can eliminate that code completely, or you can use the link method, which is basically this method right here. It is pretty much link you know, it directs it to the style sheet, and it goes to your child theme and your parent theme CSS file, which is something that you know, they recommend using that now instead of the old @import. And I'll leave some links in the description that will explain that whole process if you're using a child theme. Highly recommended that you do use a child theme. The purpose of that is that when you update the theme, you won't lose your modifications, in theory. But as I briefly mentioned a few moments ago, the responsive theme from Cyberchimps, they have released updates that have broken themes regardless of whether you're using a child theme or not, because of the fact that they moved files. So hopefully we won't have those type of issues coming from future updates from Cyberchimps on the responsive theme. One other thing I wanted to mention, let's see, what was it? Oh yeah, plugins. There are some plugins that I highly recommend. You might want to just jot these down. One of them is the TinyMCE Advanced plugin, and what that's going to do, let me jump over to a page that is going to give you basically WYSIWYG. It's going to be you're going to be able to add more tool buttons here to your editor, your page or post editor. You'll be able to add additional tools to this section right here, and it's very helpful to make your life easier. Even though in later versions, the latest version of WordPress, not the responsive theme, but WordPress, they've added this menu bar right here. So it kind of takes the place of a lot of things. They've restructured the menu, so it's, you know, it can be redundant, but a lot of people like to just have quick buttons right here instead of going under a context menu and selecting something. So either way, it works. Also, Black Studio TinyMCE widget. I recommend this plugin highly. Very useful. What it does is it allows you, let me go to the widget section under appearance and widgets. It's going to add a visual editor widget, and difference is that a regular text widget doesn't have any options. Let's see if I can find something here that I can demonstrate that. Let's see. Let's just go to, I don't have anything on this particular theme. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have anything. Well, I can show you this. A regular text widget has nothing. You can't modify anything. But a Black Studio TinyMCE visual editor widget. Let me jump back up here and grab one of those. I'll just show you. Open up my home widget. I drag a visual editor, also known as the Black Studio TinyMCE widget. Now look at all the options I have inside of just that widget. A normal text widget doesn't have any of that. So if I drag a regular text widget in there, and that opens up, as you can see, I have no options. I can't insert a picture unless I use HTML code to reference a picture or image. Can't change the font, can't change the styles or format anything. But once again, the Black Studio TinyMCE widget gives you all the tools, the same tools as a matter of fact, as your page or post editor. So very useful plugin. Recommend that highly. Let's see. The next one I recommend is Shortcodes Ultimate. Very useful. plugin comes with a widget, as you can see here, and also, let me jump over to a page or a post really quick. Shortcodes Ultimate allows you to click on this button. It adds this tool button to your page or post editor, and it allows you to insert shortcodes that'll make your life a whole lot easier. So now you can insert a heading, a divider, a video, a table, subpages, permalinks, you name it. All of these items can be inserted into your page, and it allows you to customize them in any way you like. So very powerful and useful plugin there. Shortcodes Ultimate. The next one I recommend is custom sidebars. If I jump back over to the widgets section under appearance and widgets, custom sidebars allows you to create your own custom sidebars. So you can create sidebars just like this, and they will be added to the list, and you can go ahead and drag your normal widgets inside there and customize them the way you'd like. The really powerful and useful feature of custom sidebar plugin is that you can select what page or post that you want it to appear on. So in other words, if you want a particular sidebar to show up on your about page, you'll have a sidebar, customized sidebar on the about page. And if you want a different one on the news page, instead of having the same sidebar on every single page, you can select what sidebar you want on that page. And the reason I'm not demonstrating all of this stuff that I'm talking about is because I already have tutorials on my channel explaining and demonstrating all of this. So I'm just mentioning this in case you're new. Just go to my channel and search for the particular videos that apply, and you'll learn how to use these particular plugins and make these certain modifications. And one last plugin that is really great is the Easy Google Font plugin. Now your theme has to be custom font enabled, and I'm just going to show you what that particular plugin does. It's called Easy Google Fonts, and it's right here, Easy Google Fonts. It's by Titanium Themes, and it allows you to change the fonts, change the header, change the theme text. Just what it says, Easy Google Fonts. So if I go to Customize, which is how you access it, what it'll do is it will add, and a lot of people don't use the Customize window, but it is another way for you to edit your theme. It adds a typography button or section to the customizer, and within that you can go ahead and modify your paragraphs, your heading fonts, your heading 2 fonts. Here's your heading font, here's your header 2 font, your header 3 fonts, and so on. So for instance, if I wanted to change the header font, I'm just going to demonstrate this quickly. I already have a tutorial for it. I can just go over here, and let's say it's Arial right now, as you can see, just plain and basic. I can change that to Able. You see it change live right there. Let's see, let's just pick something else. There you go, Allura. So bam, just that quick, you change the font on your site. So this will add a lot of customization. You can also change the color of the font under appearance. Change it to blue, change it to green, or select whatever color you want. There you go, and you see it live in the customizer. So that's it's a really good tool to learn how to use and take more advantage of. Alright, so I just wanted to brush over those tips. I will provide links regarding the changelog and all of the updates that have been done to the responsive theme, which will help you understand what version you have and what changes are in the next version up if you are considering updating. And last but not least, whether you've heard about it or not, I just want to emphasize that there is a completely new version of the responsive theme coming out. It is called Responsive 2.0. It is not an update, it is an upgrade. I want to emphasize that. It is an upgrade. They have completely rebuilt the responsive theme core. And this upgrade will break your site. It's in beta version right now. Some people are playing around with it. If you go to Cyberchimp's website, they highly recommend not applying it to your live website or blog just yet. Wait until they get all the bugs out and they get it out of beta testing mode. Because if you apply that upgrade to your business website or your working blog, you're gonna hate life, let me tell you. You're gonna have to more than likely rebuild your site unless you have everything backed up extensively. So keep an eye on that. The latest update, 1.9.7.0, is relatively safe. No major changes on that, so you can go ahead and update to that. But hold off on responsive 2.0. When you go to Cyberchimps, you can join their blog and get updates as to what's going on with that new version. But it is a completely rebuilt responsive theme. So just be aware of that. Alright? So I hope this video covered some issues and clarified some things. As I stated, I will put links in the description. And thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, you can contact me at mindvisionmedia.net on my contact page, and or you can leave me a comment or ask me a question on my YouTube channel. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Alrighty, bye.